Hi guys.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode of the Real Deal podcast. Today,
Yes. I'm
introduce
Mallory.
yourself.
Yes, I'm Mallory. Friends with Rosemary.
Yeah, we met. Where did we? We met at volleyball.
Yeah,
like,
I forgot if
last
it was
year.
volleyball or spike ball.
I think it was volleyball last year
it
outside.
was volleyball.
And I was
Yeah.
hanging out with my roommate, and I was like, just so sad. I was like, I have no friends. I need to go outside and do
No,
something.
me too.
And so I went to volleyball, and we
Yeah.
met each other, and we like got Snapchats or something. Like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then we played spike ball once,
Mhm.
and then we got lunch a couple times.
Yeah.
And we don't hang out much, but like
Right.
when we see each other, we're always like, we need to hang out.
Yes.
And this is what that is.
Yes, this is a hangout,
Yeah.
basically.
But I have
yes.
coloring sheets.
Oh my God, it's
which
me.
is a picture from Mallory's Instagram.
They gave me the craziest jawline.
In a good way. And so we do this, so we're just like
Oh my
thinking
God.
about something else while we're talking, you know.
Well, yeah.
But today Mallory brought her own things to talk about.
I
I was
did.
telling her normally I'm the one that has stuff prepared for the guests, but it's
Yeah.
reversed. So this is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I didn't really have to prepare much.
I was like, well, I can talk about just about anything for forever, but I was like, what specifically would be interesting?
Mhm.
What do I find interesting? I am a big fan of, like, I watch Drew Gooden, I watch Danny Gonzalez. I love
Mhm. My
them
sister
explaining-
is obsessed with them.
I've been watching them since, especially Danny, since like 5th grade. Like the era of Vine.
My sister like
Yeah.
went. Well, my dad is like very involved with the school, like ever since
Mhm.
we like, cause my sister goes here now too.
Yeah.
But
oh, yeah.
she was. They went on some trip with the football team like a few
Mhm.
years ago, and she was talking to all these like older guys and, or men, sorry.
Yeah.
And one of them that like works in the president's office was talking to her and was like, "Who is like your favorite celebrity?" And she said Danny Gonzalez, and he was like, "I'll like get you to meet him. Like before you graduate, like I'll get you to meet him. Like I'm sure we have some connections."
Ain't
Like
no
I don't
way.
really know if that's actually gonna happen.
I
But
just-
now I work there.
Hey,
and he
if
sees
it
me.
does, you know where to find me.
Yeah, true. I'll hit you up.
And if you don't hit me up, I'll find a way to get there.
True.
But
I'll post it and you'll be really mad.
but yeah, I love to watch like low budget movies.
Mhm.
One of my favorite things like in a hotel is you go to like Lifetime, you go
Mhm.
to Hallmark.
Do you like reality TV?
I'm not a big fan of reality TV. I did watch The Bachelor for the first time in my life recently because Liliana and Greta are a
Mhm.
fan. And it was definitely something. I still think it's like kind of dystopian.
It
to
is.
the premises are kind of insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love watching the Lifetime because they're just so. There's something about them. They're ridiculous. The characters are always like just so normal, but like so strange at the same time. So this one though, I actually found when I was watching it with my brother and my mom like years ago
Mhm.
when I was maybe in elementary school or middle school. And it was just gonna be like, oh, it's just like your typical like Christmas rom-com. It has like
Yeah, there's
all
like
of
500 of those.
the oh yeah, it's called Love at the Christmas Table.
Okay.
If you haven't watched it, I would recommend to watch it, though I am going to spoil the entire thing. But the good
If you
thing
want to
is
watch it, click off of this.
exactly,
go watch it,
and then come back.
Yeah.
Or another thing, you can know exactly what you're in for, and then watch it for the first time with somebody else and watch them experience it for the first
True,
time,
that'd be more
which
fun.
could work. But
Or watch them at the same time, like
yeah.
Subway Surfers. Like,
yeah, just like
side by
multi-screen,
side.
yeah. But yeah, we watched it. Like it has all the tropes. It's like, you know, the girl is kind of like a tomboy and childhood best friends. Both of their dads run a company together,
So true.
and they live in a small town. And it's like the plot of the movie is that it takes you through every Christmas from age 4 until they're like 30. And it shows kind of like their, you know, relationship building.
Mhm.
She's like the tomboy and he's kind of like sarcastic. And once they get to college, well, they never like end up dating. They're just
Okay.
friends.
Okay.
And then
Slow
they,
burn.
yeah, love it. And so they move away. Well, he moves away.
Okay.
She stays in the small town to work for her dad's company. By the
Mhm.
way, her mom died when she was 4.
Oh.
Very, sorry, very important plot point.
Okay.
And so it's like that. They mention that a few times, of course, and Yeah, so he moves to the big city, and he's like big shot, city man.
And are they still in contact?
They only see each other on Christmas. That's the only time they see each other.
Coincidentally, or they try?
They don't try.
Okay.
Until,
Oh.
I think, well, it's like they go through different relationships. Oh, it's not going to work because he has this girlfriend. And like, then the next year he doesn't have the girlfriend, but she has the boyfriend.
Classic.
And then eventually they're both single. And they're 26 years old. And they start, being romantic to each other. It's like flirting, and then they have this, like, they escape the family, like, Christmas party, and they, like, run along into the town. Like, it's so cheesy. Mm-hmm. It's truly so cheesy. Honestly, it's enjoyable. Like, it's enjoyable to watch. Mm-hmm. But then they kind of, like, get into the point where they're like, hey, I feel like I really miss you throughout the year, and, like, we just never talk, and, like, maybe if we talked, this could be something. Mm. And they're like, maybe we should try to be a little bit more honest with each other. And, like, you're in the big city, but, like, let's make this shit happen. And then we cut to the next year when they're 27. And this is one of the craziest scenes I think I've seen in a rom-com. And I think I'll leave it at that, but I have scripts. Well, don't worry, because I have scripts for us to read out.
Oh, that tells the ending?
That shows, well, this is like the big climax.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I'll tell you how it ends after.
Okay.
But okay.
Who's who?
I'm going to have you be, by the way, the main characters' names are Sam and Kat, which I did not realize
I'm
until.
I'm just going to be picturing Ariana Grande and, what's her name? Jeanette
McCurdy. Yep. I'm going to have you be Kat. Okay. Obviously the girl.
So, Ariana.
Yes, you're Ariana.
They are 27.
Yes, so they're 27 at this point. This is the year after the year where they were like, I think we should take this to the next level. And we don't see anything in between that year and this year. But we cut to this year, and we see Sam alone at the Christmas party. Kat is nowhere to be seen. Where is she? Word is she's sick. So he says, I'm bored AF at this function. Okay. And he gives her a call. So this is the beginning of the scene in which...
So Sam's the boy?
Yes. Okay. Sam is the boy. I'm Sam. Okay. And I'm on the phone with Kat.
Okay.
Yes, with you. So this is how it starts. Now, when you say sick, like at the hospital with the smiley chart, with the smiley face on one side and the really, really sad guy on the other...
I'm like... halfway to sad guy.
I think I'm gonna need a picture for confirmation.
What?
Proof of illness, or I could just come over there.
No, that was not in the script.
No, it's no problem. I'll be there in 10.
No, it's fine. Just give me a minute.
And so she messes up her hair and she puts blush all over her face and takes a few photos with her flip phone, making a sick face until she gets the perfect fake sick photo. And then she sends it to me, Sam.
Yeah.
And I call her home phone again.
Yep.
Having it established that you're clearly sick and clearly not avoiding me, should I call like an ambulance or a priest? And then they have like a boring flirting conversation. Phone call ends, end scene.
Okay.
Then I call again. Both of us laying down on our beds in our individual homes. We're away from each other still. Okay. So I call you. Ring, ring. What's going on?
Nothing. I promise.
I thought this was the year we were going to be honest with each other. Maybe even a little foolish.
Sammy.
I know.
I don't think you do. No, I don't want to read this. What the hell?
So make me.
I have my life and you have yours.
But they intersect.
Yeah, for one night a year.
Well, on the bright side, I guess if we do this over the phone, you can't actually hit me. That's another thing about her character, as she's the tomboy. Anytime he says anything in previous years, she, like, punches him in the arm. Mm. So he's like, at least you can't hit me because we're over the phone. So she presses the button on the phone to make the really loud noise for the other person. And he goes, cute. Want to play Best Life? This is a game they play. I don't understand it, and I've seen the movie like 4 or 5 different times. I don't know if it's like they explain what the best life could be or worst life. We'll learn this
Okay.
together as we go through the
Okay.
script. Okay, best life. You're stuck in Illinois forever. Go.
You entitled intellectual snob.
This is a callback to a game they played or something that I still don't remember. You pathetic, unimaginative townie. This is another callback, but to the different group that is the plot, and I think a movie that they watched together at some point.
Wow.
What? No, I didn't mean it like,
No, bring it. Worst life. Go.
okay. Sam sits up with a determined, somewhat bitter demeanor. You're stuck. Same town, same job.
I love my job.
Of course you do, with your lovely little troll workshop.
Troll.
Dwarves, or elves, or whatever. The tiny people in fairy tales who work in wood shops.
Says the man named after a hobbit. You.
Swear jar.
I'm not even in that house.
When did you finally move out of your dad's place? Like a year ago?
2.
And how far away did you move from daddy?
It's a small town.
Yeah, like 3 blocks. I bet you still have breakfast with him like every day.
So,
That's not normal.
but it's normal for you to ignore your family all year?
I get angry and I hang up the phone. Sam storms out of the house, power walking to his truck. He gets in his car, slams the door, and starts driving immediately. He speeds out of the driveway and the music intensifies. Kat stands up looking like she wants to give him a piece of her mind and picks up her home phone to call him. Phone rings. What?
Don't you dare hang up on me.
Don't worry. Anything you can say to me, you can say to my face.
You're not invited.
I don't care. Maybe it's not your turn.
My turn.
Yeah, to get your way, to be the boss, to say how this is gonna go.
Just turn around, Sam.
Why? What are you so afraid of? She hangs up looking scared and worried. Because he's being scary and it's worrying. He pulls in to her house and she is quite literally panting, probably having a panic
I'm not
attack.
fancy.
She looks out the window. Come on, let's hear it. No, okay. She looks out the window and she sees him walking up to her door. He knocks. Come on, open up, Kat. He tries to open the door multiple times. He's like going like this to the door, trying to open it. She calls him from her home phone. She stands by the window, looking out. He walks into the driveway to look up at her in the window. She turns off the light next to her.
Just go home, Sam.
I need to talk to you about something. Something important.
I don't want to hear it. It's all just a game to you.
Are you kidding me? I'm here. I'm here every year for you.
And then you leave. You don't come here for me. You come here for yourself.
Offended, disappointed. Come on.
Now angry to the point of almost crying. For a few days every year, you get to meet Mr. Big Shot. Better than everyone else. Better than the saintly/intellectually challenged small-town folk. The irony is, if you ever stayed longer than a few days, we'd all figure out that you're not better than us, wouldn't we? You're so insecure you can't hold on to anything real or put down roots. You've had 8 jobs in 6 years, right?
Yeah?
You figure if people really got to know you, if they saw past the pretty boy face and quick smile, they would throw you off the plane.
Wow, yeah. You nailed it.
So you can't commit to a job, to a girl. Hell, if you couldn't commit to Rebecca, amazing, perfect Rebecca.
Listen to me.
But that's okay, isn't it? Because you always got me, good old Kat, waiting around for you year after year like some kind of idiot.
Just stop it.
Not anymore. I'm done. So go back to your big city and don't expect me to be waiting around anymore.
Just like that, huh? Like you're so perfect?
No,
Forget it. I should go.
no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Nothing to lose, Sam. Might as well.
Okay. Let's talk about your dad.
What about my dad?
He's just the world to you, isn't he? And you're not gonna share him with anyone. It doesn't matter if he's happy, right? You can't even see what you're doing to him. Or maybe you just don't even care. As long as you get to stay in the snow globe, where nothing ever changes. I mean, you're still sleeping on the same bed that you've had since you were 12 years old. You can't even sleep in another bed.
So?
Does that sound healthy to you? And you love to play the whole dead mom card.
Oh my god.
but the dude is so appalling. I don't know how this actor played it with a straight face. You love to play the whole dead mom card, but the truth is, you don't even remember her. Kat sinks down, out of view of the window. You act like your heights are wuthering, taking walks down to the graveyard to see where she's buried. But it's not because you care about her. All you're thinking about are the 2 plots next to her, where your dad is going to be buried and where you're going to go right next to him. It's all so pretty and poetic. You say that I can't hold on to anything real, but you've spent your whole life in this tiny, tragic fantasy. Kat gets scared and hangs up the phone quickly and begins to sob, as she should. Sam goes up to the door, knocks politely, and tries to open the door. Kat, I'm sorry. Just open the door and come outside. He begins to pout at the door, giving up. He walks back out to the driveway to look up at the window longingly. We see Kat hiding from the window, sobbing. Sam quietly, I'm so sorry. He gets something from his pocket. An engagement ring. He spins it in his hand, now looking down at it. This wasn't how this was supposed to go. Fade to black. End of scene. Imagine watching this after an entire movie where they're trying to get us to like them.
Yeah, and you expect it to like end happily, and then it's
Yes.
that.
And then it's like, oh my God. They just had the most intense, evil fight I've ever heard. He, like, went in on her. It wasn't even just, like, you know, I feel like she presented a pretty valid point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you kind of, like, leave your family behind and, like,
Can't
you know,
commit.
yeah, you can't commit. You disappear for the entire year except for Christmas. And you expect me to sit around here? Like, you're just coming back, like, as a little trophy run.
Yeah, no.
And then he's like, yeah, well, your mom is dead, and you use that to your advantage, which is terrible. Can you imagine? And you know what the sad part is?
All of it?
I mean, not all of it. But the crazy part, I guess, is like...
all of it.
All of it also. But the crazy part about the movie is after this, we fade to the next Christmas, which is 5 years later.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time he's come home in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I should even bother you with the details. Like, basically, they end up, like, she forgives him. And he's like, sorry, it was just coming out of insecurity. And she's like, yeah, true.
That always happens in movies where they say the most nasty things, and then they're just like, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. And then they're like, all good, but it's like, you still thought that.
Yeah, you still thought that? How could you think that about me, by the way? But yeah, they end up together. He, like, after 5 years, he randomly buys a house for them, like, way away from the hometown in which she's lived her entire life and has her job and her life there. And, like, it basically just ends up happening that that night, she had decided to, like, move to the next chapter of her life. And they were like, let's take this chapter together. It's always been you. I've always been in love. It's so strange.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I just remember watching it, and we were just like, that was the worst Christmas
like,
movie
ever.
I've ever seen. What about Christmas spirit is giving you play the dead mom card?
Yeah.
Like emotional abuse, I would say. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's horrible.
The best that, like, he had against her was, like, you have the same bed that you've had for... Hey, that's just being, like, environmentally...
Eco-friendly, what?
I'm just being environmentally cautious. Like, I'm just getting the use out of my items, Sam.
Yeah, if it ain't broke,
Yeah, like...
why fix it?
Sorry, I can't get a new bed, Sam.
Yeah.
God. It was just so strange. And I've rewatched it now many times. That's one of my favorite things to do every Christmas is introduce it to a new person who has no idea what it is. and watch them be
That's
absolutely
evil.
appalled.
Yeah, that's evil.
Yeah, because it's
So
like
you know this by heart.
I unfortunately do. It isn't like necessarily worth it, you know. Like if there's any movie for me to know by heart, like it's kind of sad that it's this
Yeah,
one, but
it
like
is.
objectively, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of amazing.
It's beautiful.
The movie is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would rather have it be interesting than be boring. I watched a rom-com with Liliana at one point, and it was possibly the most boring rom-com. I found
Well,
my
when that is what you have to compare it to, anything would be
yeah,
boring.
dude. It was like it basically was just like things happening on the screen. Like the characters weren't interesting, the plot wasn't interesting. It was just like kind of like both of them were engaged and
B-roll.
and their fiancés were just both boring, and so they kind of like liked each other,
Yeah.
and that was kind of the whole movie. But yeah, if you're looking for a heartwarming Christmas movie to watch, Love at the Christmas
Take it from
Table.
her, that's what you should go for.
Yeah.
So now we have to show how far we got, which is not very far.
Not very
well,
far.
we never really get very far anyway.
I mean,
'cause-
I was locked in.
yeah,
I did my hair
were
and I
acting.
got 2 flowers.
But this is
so-
what we have, and then
Yeah.
you can take these home and continue working on it. But thank you for joining today. and
thank you for having me.
educating us all on that.
Of course.
And we'll see you next time on the next podcast.
Yes.